Hello, making a video on my table, and I'm going to film the process. I already started. I'm making a sculpture. Again, it's Play-Doh, and it is very nice and it is very relaxing. And I hope this shows it well. It's a little bit daylight left, but I also turned the table lamp on. And it's very, very nice, and I'm very infinitely grateful that I have my art and that I have the paint and this amazing clay and materials to work with. Also fabrics. I do sewing as well. It's very nice to make things. Very nice. Yeah, I wanted to do a philosophy discussion today with a guy from India. Last night I put an announcement at the Friedrich Nietzsche group on Facebook. I said, anyone interested to talk to me in a Google Hangout discussion about Friedrich Nietzsche? Because my brain really needs it. And this guy from India, Zanil, he wrote, yeah, sure, indeed, he said. So I said, okay, then let's do this. I set it up for today at 6 p.m. and asked some other people as well. And lo and behold, no one showed up. Okay, alrighty. there we go. Again, there I am again on the road, left behind in the dust of intellectual loneliness. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. But, I have my artwork and I have my tablet to talk to. Yeah, I wished I had Sophia, the robot, to talk to. I would talk to her endlessly about Friedrich Nietzsche, and she would have read all the books about him and by him and seen all the documentary films and can access all of that stuff at once. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I have nobody to talk to about Friedrich Nietzsche. People aren't interested. It doesn't pertain to their lives, of course, also. Most people are not interested in philosophy. But I have my artwork, and I am deeply grateful for what I have. I'm deeply, infinitely grateful for Dave. I'm infinitely grateful for my husband Paul, who is there, who cooks for me and sometimes gives me a foot massage, and that is very, very, very wonderful. And for this property and for the rhododendron flowers that I love so deeply. Beautiful. And I have rhododendron perfume oil on right now. It smells so incredibly good. It's actually a hallucinogenic material, but I don't ingest it. But I can tell when I put it on my skin, I can tell that it does something, you know, not like marijuana. Marijuana, for example, makes me feel very paranoid. And even the leaves make me feel very paranoid. So I stay away from that because my brain is already like wide open and I am very sensitive. That's why it's real hard for me when someone yells at me, like Gary in Mendham. Someone yells at me or has this real hateful voice, you know, like this real, almost high-pitched, I know this from my grandfather, high-pitched, hateful, disgusted voice, you know, like he's disgusted with who I am, absolutely appalled. And it makes absolutely no sense to me because I don't understand what's so incredibly appalling about me. I really don't. I try my best. I do activism, do animal rights activism. I don't know I don't know how someone can be hating me that much. You know, I really don't understand it. And it's very painful for me, you know, it's very painful. Very painful. And I can't, you know, I have to, if I go into a chat room, you know, and I say what is on my mind, because I think it's important that people know certain things, I cannot be hated like this. That's just not gonna work. On Al Jazeera, I am being censored. They kicked me out. They don't want me because I said dissolve Islam. And there are some Republican tweets that also kick me out. Anyone who's like on some kind of extreme side is definitely against what I say and doesn't want me there. So, and then all egos, you know, egos do not like me because I say what's on my mind, and what's on my mind is, you know, I'm honestly, I'm seeing things the way they are. You know? I'm not seeing it through some kind of corporate goggle where this is real pretty. Not seeing it through some kind of self benefiting in mind or something, some kind of agenda. I don't have an agenda. And I told people on Facebook today I don't want anything from anyone. They don't believe it because they project, you know. They want something, they want money. So there's no way they will believe it when someone says, I don't want money, I don't want anything from anyone. I mean, I'd like to have money, but not on cost of someone else. I'm not an e-beggar. I could never do this. I could never e-beg. It's never, ever, ever, ever. That I find very degrading when someone does that. Just could not do it. I could not ask for donations for myself. Only for someone else, an animal or someone else, a person. But not for myself. Just couldn't do it. Also has to do with the culture I grew up in. That is the native German culture, which is, I think, gradually tapering out now. I have been the last German, so to speak. Times are changing, as everything is shifting constantly and moving and changing. So my species is dying out. It's true. It's the truth. That's okay, you know, we care, thus we don't have kids. Then other people will not care, and they will have kids. Okay, there's nothing I can do about it. Peace still starts with me. A lot of people have this attitude, well, if they have this, if they can get all of this, then I better get it too, or I get it before someone else gets it. That's a general attitude in humans, and it's sad. It's very sad. What else can I say? Yeah, and I do complain. I'm a complainer. I'm a whiner and complainer. Okay, so what? But I would never, ever, ever, I'd never hiss at someone. Particularly not someone who likes me or likes what I say, or who, you know, has made an effort. Someone who made a drawing of me, particularly. I would never, ever have the nerve to yell at that person and get mad and hate that person and snarl at that person. Ooh, no, never. You know, if someone snarls at someone else for no any good reason, then they really need to do some heavy introspection. They really do. They really need to find out, man, what is it? What causes you to do this? I do that. I do that introspection. I know I have flaws, you know, I complain and all of this. I know I don't understand humans very well. Yes, I know. I'm not God. I can't jump. I can't skip steps also. I can't pretend that I understand people when I don't. I just don't, okay? So I'm not there yet. I can't relate to people. I can't relate to any of these ridiculous things that people watch, sports or the reality shows. Most reality shows, I can't relate to this. There isn't anyone even that I find eye-pleasing. I just don't relate. I tried several times to talk to people. Once in a while a guy comes and says, yeah, sign me up, or, you know, or here's my email address, and I start talking to him, and it goes fairly well in the beginning, but then I see that something isn't right, you know. And then I see he kind of like wanted something. I don't know what he wanted, never said what he wanted, never spoke about it. And then he suddenly gets pissed and he leaves. And then I figure, well, maybe I hurt his ego somehow. Maybe he wanted something, but he didn't say what he wanted. Okay, so that is very, very sad when that happens also. He can say, you know, what he wants. If he wants money, then that's pretty clear that he won't luck out with me, okay? Because I'm not giving anyone money. There's most men on the internet want money from me. I see this already before they even say it. I already see through it. I can tell by the way they word themselves. It's always the exact same wording. They copy that somewhere on some kind of scam website. Here, I show you how to scam people. But you have to pay me money for a course on how to scam people. And here is what you can copy and paste. So then everyone can do it from anywhere around the world. And their names are always last names first, and then some first name as a last name. And sometimes it's a female name mixed into, because they don't know the names here in the United States. And then when I point that out, they feverishly have to try to find some kind of explanation. Oh, it's my mother's name. I value my mother so much that I use the name Olivia on my profile. It's not that great though, I said, for picking up women, but yeah, well, you can try. So, and the ego doesn't like it when it is busted. Never likes it. It is garlic acid. It sizzles. But yeah, sometimes I have nothing else to do. Sometimes I just have this overwhelming need to tell these people what compassion is. I try different things and different approaches on how to approach them with that. If it doesn't work, then sometimes I get frustrated, sometimes I even cry. It's okay, then I cry, meditate on crying. It's all good. Crying is good, by the way. It's really, really good. It causes endorphins in the body, and it's a great, great relaxing agent. I always feel the best after I cried. Oh, so all these things going through my mind. I wrote a letter to Thomas Metzinger, my favorite contemporary philosopher right now. So he's also a neuroscientist at the same time, which is a very nice combination that I think hasn't been there before. So he incorporates neuroscience and in particular the subject perception into his philosophy. And it is extremely interesting, and I recommend this book that he wrote, The Ego Tunnel. Highly, highly recommend that book to everyone. I'm reading it right now. I have it on Kindle. I always buy tree-free electronic books. And it is good for the environment, and it is good for your brain. And it's real comfortable reading, also when it's dark and when you don't use many lights. It's very comfortable to read. And you can even adjust the size of the letters, and you can, I think sometimes you can choose between 1, 2, or 3 different types of letters, types of styles. And even different shade of paper, electronic paper. I like the gray shades, I like the off-white ones. It's much milder and easier on the eye. So you can adjust all of this for your own brain, your own neurology. It's very nice. It's an amazing book. It is so amazing that I have to take the jacket off. It's getting warm. It is so amazing that I got scared even. I got scared one evening when I read that. When he was talking about the out-of-body experiences, and he's had some. So I have some burning questions that I asked him. And he has written back before, which is quite amazing, and I felt absolutely honored, because I don't like that word, honored, but I felt very touched and very grateful to him. So it's really cool for him to write back to just regular people. Really nice person. A very high-minded person, very advanced, God-level soul, very caring, and he has his mind on making the world a better place. And that's where we all should be heading towards. That's what we should be oriented towards. What's making the world a better place, and not our own petty, egocentric, selfish activities and pursuits. But we can be selfish in a good way, but always put the well-being of others before that, and then we can make some kind of find some amazing solutions and combine the two, in a really wonderful way. I also watched a presentation by Dr. Kristen Neff today, and she talked about self-love, which is also very important. We can't love someone else if we don't love ourselves. This is absolutely true. We have to do this. We have to love ourselves. And we can meditate on that, and we can have a self-dialogue, and we can say, you tried hard, you did your best, the best you could, and you are a sweetheart, and you deserve love. And I tell myself that, and I also kiss my left wrist, because that was the wrist that I had carpal tunnel. And when you have something like carpal tunnel, then, which is a joint ligament, these ligament overstrained and getting a bit heated and inflamed. And so I have overstrained this in 2010, and then I couldn't use my arm at all for 4 weeks. I didn't go to the hospital. I just didn't use my arm for 4 weeks, and it healed up by itself. If I had known about clay, at that time I would have put the clay on it, and it would have healed up in a few days. But we learn every day, all the time. It's an ongoing learning process. But giving yourself love and affirmations is very infinitely important. To put, as I told Mirka, to write a love letter to yourself. You are lovely and beautiful and amazing. You can also write down what you wish for, and you can write down that you wish the infinite universe to protect your loved ones, your animals, and your children, and people, and family, and so on, and friends. You can write all of this down, and then you put this under a large water container, and you drink from that water. And my love letter to myself is already kind of washing away now a little bit. So I have to make a new one. I'm going to make a new one. And I'm going to write everything down that I wish for. I particularly wish for healing my emotional pain from my childhood. I really wish for that. So I've already been doing some healing. I've already done a lot of introspection and healing and crying and so on. I've done a lot of work on myself already. And I can definitely see the results. Definitely. Every day that you work on yourself, you're shaping your future. Every day you don't run away from your pain and instead introspect, you're shaping your future. You're making your future better. Every effort into that direction is basically I want to find the right word for it. It is creating fertile ground for the future. For the things that will grow in that fertile ground in the future. Sometimes we have to create that fertile ground first, because it was not given to us. But we can do it. Each person can create that fertile ground for his own future. It is possible. People always say I can't pull myself up on my own bootstraps. I've been hearing this ever since I came to Los Angeles in 1992. My first boyfriend there told me that all the time. And guess what? He was a drug addict. When I found out about that he was taking some kind of cocaine or something, when I caught him with it in my own bathroom, I had to kick him out, and I felt sorry for him, but you have to draw the line there. You can't be having a drug addict in your house. It's not gonna work. It doesn't matter who that is, whether it's the daughter or son or boyfriend or husband. It doesn't matter, or parent. You can't be living as a drug addict. This is already, everyone should be very aware about this. And yeah, so he had the mindset of I can't pull myself up on my own bootstraps. That's a wrong mindset, because you can, absolutely. You can pull yourself up. You can do little steps at a time to create that fertile ground every single day. It's an ongoing, gradual process. And not give up and say, oh, I backtracked, I regressed with something, whatever it is. Oh, I ate chocolate again. Happened to me many, many times. I can't count it anymore. Okay. That was the hardest thing for me to quit. It really was. And I'm still not through. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. Today again, I was so exhausted because of these people on Facebook. Oh, and then I saw Elon Musk send a tweet. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when I saw that. He sent a tweet to everyone and he said he is working on a new social media website now. And I was like, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. I can't wait to switch. And he's gonna have some intelligent, like focus themes in it, where people are actually have something to talk about that's meaningful, and not just some bordel where people go there to just trying to date someone, but actually getting into meaningful conversations. Oh, this is so awesome. Yeah, so I was exhausted earlier. Oh my God, it's always the same. The people commenting to me, the people, particularly the messages I get, the private messages, because then they don't even have to be polite or anything. They don't even have to hold back with anything. They can send penis photos. They can send ridiculous tacky photos. They can, and all of these, these motion pictures that they have there, these brief video sequences they have there, just collected from people collecting those. But there's like not one that I could possibly use. Not one. I would have to make one, actually. I don't I don't know if I can, if that would become accepted as one of those. I don't even know how to participate in the making of those kind of things. But the ones they have there, it's absolutely hideous. It is sad what they have there. Really, 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 really brutal, insensitive, and sad. And all of this is stressing me out to the point where I feel like, oh my gosh, I just wanna be left alone. Please just leave me alone. I just wanna be left alone. Oh yeah, this is exhausting. And then what happens is then my chocolate addiction starts coming up. And I'm thinking about Lindt chocolate. Yeah. And I already know, I know where I can buy it. There's one store here that has those. But they're expensive too. And it's always going heavy on the wallet and on the belly, and not good for the liver and health and all of this. And it's not even, it's not good for the world, because Lindt chocolates, they're not vegan. They have dairy product in it. They have milk powder and stuff in it, and I found out later what all of these different ingredients actually mean. And it just tastes good, but it's not good for the world. It's not good for you, and it's not good for others. So it's the so-called class 3 experience, according to Tony Robbins. Something that feels good is not good for you, is not good for others, and doesn't serve the greater good. Yeah, it's not easy. And it's a very short-lived pleasure, you know. I binge that. I buy 5 of those or 10, probably 10, and then I just binge those one after another. And while I'm binging them, I'm all giggly and I laugh. And it's always been like this my whole life. My brother can tell stories about that. My brother would always say to me, "Oh, oh, oh," he would say, "Oh, oh, 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 oh." As a child already, I see you're giggling now, but that won't last very long. You know, while we're binging on chocolate, we're all giggling and incredibly, always, my brother and I always laughed the most together. I never laughed with anyone in my life as much as I have laughed with my brother. And it's still the same thing. No one understands these things as he does. Sometimes I laugh when I'm talking to Paul, but Paul doesn't understand what I'm laughing about. It's just absolutely, there's absolutely no clue at all. Why is this so funny? No clue at all. But it has a universal humor. It is a cosmic humor. It comes from this here, from art. But most people don't understand that. And the stuff Paul laughs about, I cannot laugh about it. Like when someone has an old motorhome that breaks down and he laughs about that. No, I can't laugh about that. I cringe. I feel sorry for that person. I feel like, oh man, I know how that's like. But because Paul knows how that's like, then now he is no longer in that old motorhome. Now he can laugh about it. We had an old decrepit motorhome for 3 or 4 years, or maybe 5 years. When we were traveling in it for 3 years because we wanted to see things here in this entire area, spanning 4 or 5 states, traveling around, seeing everything. Went all the way to the peak of Zion National Forest. That was nice. I collected juniper berries, wild juniper berries, and that was absolutely amazing. And I made a soup with the wild juniper berries, and I gave that to the dogs, our former dogs. And it cured Ludwig's pneumonia. That was absolutely amazing. I gave it to him every day. I gave some to Samantha too. She liked it too. And Ludwig cured his pneumonia that he had been dragging around was for years and years and years. Nothing really helped until he ate the soup with the juniper berries, the cooked juniper berries. I mean the tea. Sort of like made a stew out of it because I cooked them in water, and I used the tea from it, and I poured that over the dog food, and it became sort of like a juniper soup. And the dogs loved it, absolutely loved it. I'm amazed that they love that taste. planet has everything we need. We just have to look and find out. But people don't look and they don't find out. They watch reality shows instead and gossip, and they go to bars to get laid, and that's on their minds. Not healing, not the future, not responsibility for the planet. That's very sad, because every single person is responsible for this, for the world we live in. Every person, every single person is responsible for it. But they don't take responsibility, and then later on they blame someone else for the world being in a mess. But it's their own responsibility that it came to that. They don't seem to understand it. Yeah, but he is still doing this. Why should I sacrifice my pleasures when he's still doing this? You can't change him or her. But you can work on yourself. You can take that responsibility and make the world better. Not for your ego, or not for some ego incentives again, but for the world to become better, for the animals, so that we can eliminate suffering. If you do your work, you reduce suffering in the world. You do. Okay, it's called karma. You're also reducing your own suffering. Love feels good, even if you are the one loving. It still feels good. The moment you give and are responsible and you look after the animals, your own animals and the animals of others and of the world, it feels good because it's love. It's a feeling of love. I don't need to tell this to the people who already are loving. I'm telling this to the world out there of humans. It's easy to be a hater. It's a very easy route to take. Just, yeah, be self-pleasing in every way. And things don't feel good and you feel unempowered, you lash it out on someone else. It's a very easy route. It's a very easy escape route for the ego to do. But it doesn't work. That's the problem. It just doesn't work. Karma. Karma is the law of the infinite. It's an infinite law. It's like gravity. It comes back. It will boomerang back at you. But that's not why you should become responsible just out of fear or something. That's like, oh, I'm good so I can go to heaven. No, it doesn't work that way. No. You become good because you want to. You want to because you care. I care. I care about the other. See someone suffer, I see a living being suffer, an animal, pig. I care. I care. I see an animal truck with pigs in it. I cry right there with the pigs. I give the pigs water to drink. I do whatever I can to alleviate their suffering. It is an atrocity the way the animals are transported. The entire animal agriculture needs to be stopped, needs to come to an end. And every single person is responsible for that. You know? Every single person is responsible for that. You're responsible by the way you live. If you become a vegan, you are being responsible for the animals. You're doing kind, responsible acts by not buying the animal food anymore. The animal products. This looks like a nice blueberry pie or some kind of blueberry loaf. Very delicious. Wonderful. So gorgeous. Maybe I should leave it on this board and glue it on. I don't know. I just feel like I just want to comfort myself with something, with food. That's what it feels like. I need to comfort my brain with food. Maybe I can just sit on it in meditation instead of giving into it. And do what I talk about in my videos. The feeling is I crave, and I need to let myself crave. Okay, I crave. Okay, I crave. It's good to say that. I crave. I crave. What are we craving, really? What is it really that we are craving? Is it not love? When people crave respect from the world, like my grandfather did, is it not that he is actually craving love? He needs to be respected. Oh, a guy once came to me on Facebook. I wasn't talking to him the way he's used to. people talking to him. He says he's a general in the army. He's not used to someone talking to him like this. I said, okay, then go. I forgot what I said then. Go away. Bye. Or go to the people who treat you better than. And he was so mad at me. He blocked me. That's okay. Whatever. Oh, I think I said that. I said I treat everyone the same way. I don't discriminate against anyone. I don't treat someone with preference.